Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another weekly setup. So I'm done analyzing over 20 pairs using fxalexg set and forget strategy, and these are the best pairs I'm willing to take this new week. So coming over to my screen right now, the very first pair I'm interested in taking for this new week is going to be USD card. So USD card, first thing we notice is that this right here is the lowest point, and this is the lower high for that. So this is the lower low, lower high. Whatever price action is happening right here is bearish. So right now price pretty much came to this last previous structure point on the daily time frame, rejected down previously, right? As you can see, it came back again, had a lot of slowdown around that area, and eventually made a direction to the downside. So it means that this area of interest is valid enough. It has 3 rejections on the daily time frame, right? From all the way from December to March currently right now, right? So the weekly time frame, well, pretty much bearish. We just broke under all these all this market that is stalling right here, right? So market is pretty much bearish right now. 4 hour time frame. Now 4 hour time frame, price came into area of interest, pretty much shifted structure bearish. As you can clearly see, this is the lowest point and this is the higher low for that. What we need right now is a retracement back into this area and confirmation for us to sell. Now this market is actually cleaner on the 4 hour time frame, right? So we have to look for the 4 hour retracement first, see if price is stalling. If price is stalling or having like a doji or a slowdown, then we can now jump to the 1 hour time frame to enter for the sales, right? So that is the first pair I'm willing to take this new week, USD card for sales. Next pair is NZD USD, right? So NZD USD, pretty much what I'm looking for right now. If I go to the daily time frame, let's start from the weekly, right? So first of all, weekly time frame has a very major resistance level. When we came here previously, we sold to the downside, and now we came to this area very recently again, and we are selling to the downside. Now we are just looking to see how we can pretty much continue the selling momentum that is happening right now, right? So that is what we see on the weekly time frame. Price has already rejected from weekly resistance level, right? Now daily time frame. On the daily time frame, market structure is clearly bullish, but we are clearly breaking lows right now. So in this case, it simply means that what we are looking for on the market is a higher high. This is a bullish market, higher low, higher high, higher low. So pretty much is a counter trend trade on daily where the market is bullish, but we are looking to see if we can look for reasons to sell from here so that we can create that lower higher low for this market, so that for eventually to buy eventually, right? So pretty much we are looking to sell because we're expecting price to have a much more deeper retracement on a daily time frame, right? It's a little bit of a counter trend trade somehow, but it's a valid trade because it makes more sense. From the EME, you can clearly see it's actually shifting bearish right now, right? Now going over to the 4 hour time frame, we have an area of interest on the 4 hour. So we at least have 3 rejections, right, on the 4 hour time frame. And the 4 hour time frame right now is currently bearish. As you can clearly tell, this right here is the lowest point that price has gone to. So it's the lower low and this is the lower high. Now what we are pretty much waiting for is reasons for price to sell from here. Right now it's not really as valid as you would think, because right now we are still having blue candles, right? We need red candles for sell, right? So pretty much what we are going to be looking for is seeing how market opens. If market opens bullish, right, we are no longer going to be interested in this market. If market opens bearish, we'll be interested in this market, but depending on how far market goes down, then we might look for a little bit of retracement to now eventually sell this market. So this market might be very, very early, might play out very, very early next week, right? So pretty much right here we have the break, retracement back into last previous structure points, back into minor area of interest that's held price as mostly support and resistance, and price is pretty much slowing down right here and rejecting EME, as you can clearly see. So all we are looking for is just a confirmation, which is an engulfing candle to actually sell this market, right? So that is NZD USD. Next pair we have is GBP NZD, right? So GBP NZD, we are looking to buy this market. So let me explain what we are seeing right here. So if you come over to the weekly time frame, you can clearly see weekly time frame technically is bearish, right? Because this is the lowest point, but last week price engulfed, had a very strong engulfing and engulfed about 3 weeks of price action, right? Now, overall direction of this market is bullish, but that's not what we are looking at. What we are looking at right here is this area of interest, right? We had about one rejection, two rejections, and three rejections from area, which makes this a weekly valid area of interest. And last week was a very strong engulfing, which shows that buyers are strong in this market, right? Now, daily time frame, pretty much daily time frame was selling to the downside and pretty much started slowing down. If you read the market structure, like I read it with you guys on the longer version of this weekly setups, you can tell that this market structure is now bullish. This is the higher high and this is the higher low, right? But it's not as clean because of multiple structures inside all these levels right here. Now, 4 hour time frame is also bullish. So we have the 4 hour and daily bullish. So we have two time frame in sync, right? What we had right here is a break and a retracement, and we had a doji here on the 4 hour time frame. So we are just looking for reasons to buy. It's not as clean as you expect, but right now market could actually end up buying this right here. The market is ready right now. We could actually buy from here and put our stop loss all the way down here, but the market is not open right now, so we cannot necessarily buy. So we have to wait for market to open and have a maybe a break above this high again and retracement of that high to buy, or just depend. It really depends on how market opens, right? So again, I'm going to update you guys on the Telegram channel. So to join the Telegram channel, just come over to the YouTube right here and click on this link, right? If you click on this link, you will see the Telegram channel. If you join the Telegram channel, I'll update you guys on exactly what I'm planning on doing on this market GBP right here. For right now, we just know what the direction we are going to be buying, what the direction we are going to be paying attention to for this week. But right now, we don't really know exactly how to enter, right? So next pair we have is NZD So NZD pretty much what I'm looking for in this market is a break and retest above here to buy, because we have a very strong area of interest here and it's a 4 hour area of interest, by the way. So I'm looking for a break and retest here to buy. If you can get a break and retest, it will be more valid, but I need a retracement first before we have that break, because if you just have the break and the retest without this retracement, then my stop loss is going to be all the way down here, right? Which is not going to be very good, because it doesn't seem like price has the momentum to really trade all the way up here, right? He has the momentum to trade around here, but I don't think he has the momentum to trade all the way up here. So it just depends, right? Again, I'll update you guys on the Telegram. JPY is another pair. Pretty much we are having a break right now, right? Very clean on the 4 hour time frame and retracement for us to buy. So let me show you how the daily looks. Look on the daily, you can clearly see that this is a daily area of interest, clearly holding price as support right now because we are above area of interest. Market structure is currently bullish, as you can tell, right? 4 hour time frame is the time frame I just finished calling right now. It's pretty much bullish. All we are looking for is a retracement and an engulfing to buy from this area, right? So when the 1 hour has that, then we'll know exactly what to do, right? We are just waiting for a retracement to buy. That's pretty much it. USD Now USD JPY is a little bit different with all these other JPY pairs I just finished calling, and I'll show you why. So this right here is the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame has come to this price point before and rejected down very strongly. Same thing here, rejected down very strongly. Same thing recently, reject down very strongly. And right now, guess where price is? Right at that area again. What do you expect? You should expect it to sell down very strongly again, but who says that it cannot really break above, right? So we are trying to be very careful to see a little bit of slowdown and reactions from that area that will tell us that it's going to actually sell down before we actually sell down. So here's the game plan. Going over to the daily time frame. Now the daily time frame is clearly still bullish, but for us to be interested in this market, price has to shift bearish. So since this is the higher high, this is the higher low, we need price to start trading below this low. Hence, this is now the reason for this minor area of interest right here. It's going to be a valid 4 hour area of interest. As you can see, we have one rejection here, 2, 3, and 4th rejection from here. So this is actually a daily area of interest. So we need price to actually shift structure, break under this low, which will make this market shift structure on the daily time frame making the daily time frame bearish, breaking trend line, and breaking under daily area of interest. Then once we have that, the 4 hour is also going to shift structure, and then we'll now be paying attention to this market very closely to catch these sales, to potentially sell this market all the way to daily previous structure points, which is either here or here, right? So this might actually be a very, very strong trade. We are looking to see if we can get this very strong selling pressure that's happened multiple times before in the past, right? So that is that for NZD, for USD JPY, right? So I'm likely to take this trade if we have the opportunity. And the last pair I'm looking to see right here is AUD card, right? So let me show you what the game plan of AUD card is. So if you go over to the weekly, so weekly time frame is actually bullish. This is the higher high and this is the higher low. But this last week was a very strong engulfing candle that engulfed about 3 weeks of price action. Now, pretty much the game plan is almost like a counter trend trade in this case. This right here is the higher high, and usually we wait for a higher low to buy all this kind of thing. So this right here, this point right here, right? This point right here is this point right here. So pretty much, since price seems to be creating a little bit of low right here, we expect that this low should be deeper to somewhere around here or something to eventually continue buying, right? But right now we are still somewhere around. But right now we are still somewhere around the high, right? So we are still somewhere around here, right here. So what we are looking for is to look for reasons to potentially continue selling this market until we look for, to continue selling this market to around this level before the final buying to the upside, right? Because this right here is the weekly time frame. It's pretty much going to take weeks for price to get to here, right? So, but for us to look for reasons to sell, we can use the immediate time frame, which is the 4 hour and 1 hour, or even the daily, to look for reasons to sell until price have that deeper retracement that we're looking for, right? So the daily time frame now, the area of interest is not that clean, as you can clearly see. So we'll just turn it to look like the 4 hour area of interest. So if you look at the 4 hour, you can clearly see now this now a clean area of interest on the 4 hour. We are having this EMA was pretty much bullish all this while, and you can clearly see right now it's now bearish, right? What we are looking for is to just look for a way to continue selling with a bearish trend, right? So this is the 4 hour time frame. All we just need is a retracement back into this area and a slowdown to sell, right? Pretty much a retracement and an engulfing to sell this market, right? So that is actually the last pair we're paying attention for the week. Depending on how the 4 hour plays out, then we'll look at the 1 hour to actually sell the market eventually, right? So that's pretty much what I'm looking to see this week. I hope I'll be very active in the Telegram to call these trades for you guys. Again, join the Telegram, it's absolutely free, and I'll see you guys in next week's setups.